Urban lumber is wood that's milled out of trees that have grown in our communities.
Using local resources to create a local product that supports our local economy. That's the goal of urban lumber.
So we're not really trying to grow them for lumber, but they are a wood resource, and at the end of their life, why not use that wood for another purpose?
When alive and well, trees provide us with so many benefits. Clean air, energy conservation, nourishing wildlife, adding beauty to our community, just to name a few. But when they reach the end of their life,
Storm-damaged trees or insects and diseases have killed them, or development.
We don't often think about the value those trees still hold.
Many people, they have their tree taken down by a tree service, and they just want out of there as fast as they can. They don't really care or whatever, but why not repurpose it? And that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Paul has been in the wood business for nearly 30 years.
I've seen a lot of sawdust.
And he still gets excited talking about local lumber.
There's so many good hardwoods in this area. You know, we've got fantastic walnut, white oak. You can get a lot of great things out of it. Just reach out a little bit, and there's many people like myself in the area that can transform it into a good usable project.
Entire trees are often cut up and hauled to the landfill, where they are ground up into wood chips.
We're always going to have the small, woody, brushy stuff from our yards. We've also seen a big increase in land clearing operations where there's big logs coming in or big chunks of wood that definitely have a higher and better use than just chipping them into wood chips, which in some cases we can't even give away if we have a large stockpile like we do now.
The Iowa City Landfill and Recycling Center gives away the wood chips for free, but often the supply outweighs the demand. And all of those different steps add up when it comes to reducing our carbon footprint.
We're actually grinding it twice, and it has to be pulled out here and then turned around and hauled back to town. So if you look at just the fuel used in that process, it's pretty significant. So actually utilizing the wood rather than just having it made into wood chips is going to be far better for the environment.
When there's an opportunity to make lumber out of a tree, let's mill it into lumber, because there's lots of parts of the tree that can be used for firewood or chipped up into mulch. But with wood taking so long to be formed, like decades or possibly hundreds of years, let's not waste that natural resource and treat it as waste. Let's use it when that opportunity is available.
Every tree is different, and not all of it will be usable as lumber.
So there's a lot of trees that they're just firewood because they're gnarly and split up and things like that, so that's okay. But I'd say 70% of them, you can get some great lumber out of it. So just take a little time to think about it before you chop it off.
Talking with your tree service is a good start, as many of them know local sawyers. You can also check out the Iowa DNR website for resources.
We've got a sawmill directory on our website. Luckily, the Iowa City Coralville area has several sawmills they can go to see if that wood can be processed.
Sometimes taking down a tree is planned out in advance, but more often than not, it comes as a surprise. That was the case for John Van Hukelum and his family when the derecho hit in August of 2020.
You know, we knew a storm was coming, but we were literally standing right here, kind of watching our trampoline blow between yards, and then all of a sudden we just heard a crash. And my youngest daughter started laughing because insulation was falling down on top of me and she thought it was snowing in the house.
The family rushed down to the basement until the storm had passed. What they came up to was a shock to everyone.
There was about an 8-foot hole right above where we're sitting now, and 2 of our big cherry trees in the backyard had come down into the house.
Like everyone else, they were focused on fixing their house. But during the process, their general contractor saw the potential of the trees.
He said, well, don't let anybody just take them and chip them up. You know, he said they were valuable trees. And that's kind of when we got thinking, well, maybe we should do something with these.
The contractor brought the trees out to Paul, who milled the black cherry wood into planks. From there, John found a local custom woodworker, Krafka Crafts, to create this stunning dining room table and chairs.
It was great that we were able to take something that wasn't great and, turn it into something that was positive.
If you're lucky, you'll never be in the situation of having a tree crash through your roof. But there's another important way you can support urban lumber. Shop local.
I'm seeing people that I've never seen before come in and say, hey, do you have this urban lumber? Or here you've got cut hardwood for sale. And so it's bringing people through, and it's pretty awesome.
The Habitat for Humanity here in Iowa City has a big display of local lumber.
The urban lumber is given as much time as possible to grow. So the grain patterns are tighter, the hardwoods are harder, the softwoods are harder because they've been given the opportunity to grow with the seasons over a great span of time instead of, being rushed or forced as a timber company might do.
When it comes to buying lumber, what you get at the big box stores is often coming from across the country or even outside of the U.S.
Why import more wood from outside of Iowa when we've got it growing right here within our communities? I just don't think a lot of people realize that wood can be made out of the trees that grow right here in our communities.
Just like with food, lumber bought locally is often better quality and more cost effective.
More reasonably priced here than anywhere else, and the material is superior.
It should be noted that urban lumber is not graded for structural use. It's popular among woodworkers for things like cabinetry, furniture, flooring, and interior finishes. To spark the growth of recycled wood, local municipal governments are getting involved as well.
So when we have to take a tree down, such as right now we have a lot of derecho damaged trees that we're still removing, or EAB trees in our ashes. So that type of wood, we stockpile it at one of our locations, our stockyards on the south side of town. We contact a local sawmill to come and pick them up, and then he takes them and then saws them into whatever lengths we want, and he'll kiln dry them for us.
These are the trees that make up our parks and run along the right of way.
A lot of lumber that we utilize is just the trees we see within a park could be the same within the timber it's being harvested. So there's no reason for us just to throw them away. There is a value to them.
Iowa City will use the lumber to make benches, picnic tables, birdhouses, and even a boardwalk.
This is very important to me because this is the least we can do to put a value on the tree that was there.
The city of Coralville recently utilized some trees damaged in the derecho, which are naturally rot resistant for an outdoor project.
They had a few oak trees and hickory trees that died on their green belt. And so the traditional idea of just cutting the trees down, letting them maybe decompose on site, was changed to divert those logs to a sawmill, got them milled up. Those boards are being returned to the green belt to build a boardwalk.
By supporting urban lumber, we can help boost the local economy, reduce our carbon footprint, and get the most out of the trees in our community.
The wood that I've seen at Coffrin and through Restore, it's stunning. So if people are crafty, if they want to get into doing woodwork, it's beautiful lumber, and it's local, and it's not going into the landfill or into our wood chip process. So I think there's some really cool kind of synergies and opportunities through this program.
We're trying to reduce that fossil fuel footprint by using resources that are already within our community, and instead of wasting them, utilize them whenever possible.
As you look around in here, all this came within a 30-mile area, and it would have been mulch. So there's thousands and millions of board feet that are just wasted because people don't take the time to think or take that next step, which is so easy to do. Get something great out of it instead of just throwing it away.